Welcome to Green Homes and Bacon, and in this week's episode I'm travelling out to the artie fartie town of Montville, where nestled amongst 10 acres of its adjoining national park, I'll be profiling what is another stunning example of how stylish a modern green home can be. And of course I'll be getting a wiser insight from its delightfully inviting owners, Peter and Claire Wilson. And to finish off, Lee and myself head out to Brisbane's Green Heart Fair to see what's on offer as the Brisbane City Council leads this fun day initiative in getting cleaner and greener in and around your home.
You're watching Green Homes and Bacon.
Just a 1 hour drive north of Brisbane, the town of Montville lies along the Blackall Range as part of the vast Sunshine Coast hinterland. First settled in 1887, this historic and quaint township sits around 400 metres above sea level and has a population of just 900. It's hugely popular as a short break getaway as tourists enjoy its boutique shopping and dining, extensive range of local arts and crafts, great wineries, and of course its national parks and wildlife. So I'm taking the scooter on its limits of endurance as I wind my way up the mountains. But trust me, the ride is sure worth it. Today's feature home is proudly owned by Peter and Claire, who amongst all the other wildlife that surround and inhabit their 10-acre property, prefer the closer relationship of their dog Chili. And this is their very green home. And over a late morning wine, I sit down and find out more about their stunning home and semi-retired lifestyle.
We've had the property for nearly 5 years. When we bought it, there, and still is, 10 acres of just total bushland with pockets of rainforest. And we're right on the verge of the Condoleezza National Park. And that's our next door neighbour. And then 3 years ago, we started building, and about 2 and a bit years ago we moved into the house in November 2011, just before the rain started. And yeah, we've just been able to sit here on a Sunday afternoon like today and just enjoy the peace and tranquility.
Yeah, it is tranquil. So 2.5 years ago, it's a big change, I guess, in your life, because you have come to the reverse of a sea change, would we call it that? Was it specific that you wanted a green / eco / sustainable home?
As far as the green change goes, yeah, I think that's a fair description, that we had spent a lot of time by the ocean. We'd been in Caloundra for 30 odd years. We'd seen it go from a relatively sleepy little village to a bustling Sunshine Coast, and yeah, we didn't want to leave the area because all of our friendships were down there, but we wanted to be nearby, and we saw the Blackall Range and this area as being somewhere that we'd always liked for the beauty of it, the bushland, the rainforest, the creeks and the rivers and the waterfalls. And
we'd get to the stage where we wouldn't want to go home at the end of the day when we'd be working here. So
when we were living in Caloundra, we'd come up here and think, don't want to go back.
Well, that's probably a good ideal transition, isn't it? It's kind of like you're sort of trying before you're not buying, but trying before you make that big leap into actually building up here and making it your home. Was it by chance you found the land here?
Yeah, it was by chance. The agent said to us, "Look, I got this block over in Montville. Go and have a look. It might be okay." And as soon as we drove in, and it was a day like today, and just you could hear the birds and the sunshine and the trees, and we just said, "Wow, this is it." And the view.
Do you feel you had to have a lot of vision back then? Because I imagine that coming onto this property would have been a lot different to what it's like coming onto now, with what you've done with the landscaping, the pathing, notwithstanding the home you've built.
I would say no, actually, because most of it's rainforest. And there's only various areas where we can build and various areas that are flat. So, and that was cleared. So it wasn't difficult to say, well, we've got really two choices on a lower piece of the land or on the higher piece.
So how did the green revolution come about?
Forced into it in a way. of being, would you say that?
Coerced.
No,
Well,
we're the position of where we're living.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once we started to build, you thought, well, why wouldn't you? It just makes perfect sense. And it was obtainable and it was within the financial budget. And
Yeah, I mean, the council doesn't provide us with water. They don't provide us with sewerage. Power wasn't connected to the block. So we thought, well, okay, there are three things we can do. We can catch our own water. We can have our own sewerage system that is going to be totally recyclable. And we can have a solar system on the roof and save a hell of a lot of money. So there were three things that immediately we could incorporate into the house.
So it wasn't a whole lot of work to understand the concepts of really what a real green, today's green home actually is, which probably more than 50% is just design.
Well, it was
definitely.
It was a total no-brainer. I mean, really, to not do that with this house, you're really missing the plot. And we thought, well, you know, you've got to do it. I mean, it made sense to do it from a practical point of view and from a financial point of view.
Yeah.
And our architect was certainly very environmentally aware, and his philosophy is sustainability. So he guided us along the way as well, and just made sense.
And it's one of the messages that we're hoping to get across, that you don't have to be a greenie to own a green home, do you? Because this just makes sense, and this isn't about having necessarily any strong environmental or green philosophies. But when you're educated in terms of how a home can work and should work, it just makes good sense. Makes sense, it saves you money, it's good for the environment.
Yeah, look,
I mean,
this house, probably the carbon footprint is a lot more than the average greenie would like. But we are in a high bushfire area, so...
So just getting back to your home, tell me about some of the features that you enjoy about your home.
So I think the thing I enjoy most are the windows. I think the predominant part of the house is glass. The only reason it's not all glass is we have to have some cupboards, and you know, there's got to be walls to have cupboards. But from the bathrooms to the bedrooms to the living area, it's all glass. And I love, even on a cold winter's day, to be able to sit inside knowing that the northern sun is warming the house up, and I can look out and I can feel as though I'm outside enjoying that sunshine, even though it might be a little bit cool out there.
one of the nice aspects I like is the high ceiling and the glass up high. So when you're looking out, you're seeing the treetops. Your vision isn't impaired, that you're always looking straight. And you do find your eyes drawn a lot to the top of the trees and the things that you wouldn't normally see, the birds and the trees. And visually, it's a beautiful house to be inside in.
Mm.
Because
very light house.
You do feel like most of the time you're outside.
And that's typically a feature of a modern green home today. And you're talking about your raked ceilings, and of course that has the feature and the function of drawing your warm air up and then out through your louvers where you wonderfully look out and see your treetops. So
yeah.
And the other nice thing is, because we've got the rainwater tanks inside, is when it rains, it is a lovely sound to hear the water come down into the rainwater tank.
Yes.
It's like it's almost, dare I say, feeding your house. It's a nice feeling. And
little waterfalls.
Interesting enough, when that was on your design page, how did you see that? These big tanks sitting in the middle of your home. Could you visualise that?
Well, I initially thought it was a waste of space. I thought, well, you know, you can get a whole room there and just stick a wall, but the architect was pretty clever. He's actually put 2 little bed nests on top of those tanks, which are totally functional. So what you've got are these tanks, these concrete tanks that cool the house or even heat the house in winter. They maintain the temperature. And they look a little bit funky. They're quite unusual. You've just got these round walls there.
And you work from home. You still work from home, don't you, Peter?
Yeah, I've got a study with $1 million view out there.
That's pretty ideal.
Yeah, if I get sick of doing what I'm doing, I sit back and have a coffee and look at the rainforest. Yeah.
Just a coffee.
Well, yeah. In the middle of the day, anyhow, when I'm working.
And you've got a gymnasium out here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that get used?
I do. I get out there in the mornings with my... Well, I'm
do Pilates.
Pilates out there on the
Yes.
deck, which is rather lovely.
One luxury, you've got a plunge pool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a luxury?
Yep.
It is. Do you go in there, mate? Is it luxury? Does it get used very much? Is it too cold?
No, surprisingly, because it's above ground, it's just a circular concrete tank. It stays warm for maybe 6 or 7 months of the year, notwithstanding that this is a cooler area. It's where,
Bear in mind it's 2.1 metres. You don't put your feet down. But
well,
onto the
you've got 2 temperature zones. So yeah, if you sort of jump in, which
I don't do.
one normally does, you're nice and warm at the top, and then all of a sudden you hit the cold layer.
But being a dark pool, it does heat up quite well.
Are there any other features? Are there some features of your home that kind of stand out to you that you really enjoy? That with the design aspects?
Apart from the obvious of the rainwater tanks, which are the feature of the house, obviously.
I think what the architect calls the angel wings of the roof, because it's unusual that for a house to have the gutter down the middle of the house. So the roof slopes in, and you've then got this huge big wide drain, and I know it's wide because I've been up there to clean the couple of inputs, the sections that run into the tanks. But because he's designed it with these 2 wings, one of them faces due north, and that's where all the solar panels are. But that collects all the water, and it collects a huge amount of water, and when it rains so heavily that the water can't get into the tanks quick enough, we get these wonderful waterfalls off each end of the house. So we can, at night for instance, we can turn on the external lights and lie in bed, and there's this just massive waterfall coming off. We've got some big rocks placed at the end of the in the garden there. So I think that's a very unusual aspect, and as Claire said, for that water to channel into the tanks in the house, and then that we can use. We didn't want carpet because similar reasons. It's a little bit stodgy, so he said, okay, well, let's go with the concrete floors, polished concrete.
Are you connected to the grid now?
Yes.
We are, yeah. We feed back, so our electricity bill after the dry spell we had before Christmas, I think was $100 for 3 months.
And that's with running a swimming pool.
Yeah. So you'll be pretty happy with that?
Pretty happy. I'd say, I mean, when you have a long spell of wet weather and a lot of cloudy weather, it wouldn't be as good as that. We might pay $300 a quarter.
But fortunately, where we are here, it's not often.
Yeah, but when I hear about friends in Sydney paying $1,200 a quarter minimum, I think, well, it's probably not a bad deal.
What size solar system do you have?
2.9.
Yeah. And do you have hot water? Yeah. Are there any other messages you would like to see programs like this giving out or promoting from your own experience, from going from having that sort of green turn, if that's the right way to say it?
Only that it's very easy to do, that it's not something that the average home builder can't grasp and sort of run with.
And incorporate into...
Absolutely not. I mean, in terms of the additional costs, it would be marginal, the few little things we've done. I mean, being in a rural area where we've had to have our own septic system, that's a little bit different, but I mean, other people are building in the same circumstances. That's easy. We can reuse all of that water in this garden because it's sufficiently large. So that all goes back into watering plants on the, away from the house. In terms of capturing your own water, in terms of solar heating, in terms of, which way you face, the direction you face the house, what those walls are made of.
Generally, it became fun and a challenge.
Yes.
No, look, it's nothing that, if you're starting from scratch, there's nothing that's not achievable at the right price. And even if you have a house and you're renovating it, it's something that, once you grasp the concept.
And they're not that difficult to grasp.
Not difficult at all.
You kind of hope that it won't be too long before maybe homes like your own are more the norm as opposed to the exception.
And I think the more that people ask questions of suppliers, of building products, the more you're going to come across the ideas. People in the stores are going to be able to be a little bit more proactive in selling the concept. Whereas if probably 5 years ago, if you said you wanted to come in and you needed some double glazed glass to maintain the temperature in your house, they'd say, well, whoa, that's a bit difficult. But now I think it's becoming not more the norm, but more regularly, they're probably encountering it.
And on that note, we adjourn to take a walk around their amazing grounds.
Best thing is when you wake up in the morning and there's a koala bear up in one of these trees.
No, they're
Koala.
not
Koala.
Oh, got that on camera.
Yeah.
Even a Kiwi knows that.
It runs down there that comes from Condoleezza Falls, runs into the Obi River, which runs into the Mary River, which comes out at Maryborough and Harvey Bay, out in the Fraser Coast. So it all starts here.
And so this is above this outdoor area. Does that shutter move?
Yes, it's rain sensitive.
What the hell you see in me? All my time has turned to days that I will waste till my dying day, and all my bones have breathed.
We're here at 7th Bridge Park in Chermside today for the Brisbane City Council's Green Heart Fair. Lee, what does that mean?
We're here to have some fun and learn all about sustainability, meet some celebrities and join in with the general public.
Yes, we're going to be interviewing those local celebrities and see how sustainable they are and see if they're actually good at spelling. Plus, we're going to meet some of the locals as well and just see why they've come to the Green Heart Fair and what areas of sustainability they're putting into their lives. Anything else?
We're going to have a look at all the food, the dancing, everything that's on the stage as well.
That's it. That's it. So, join us. We'll be back shortly. So, what's the importance of the Green Heart Fair? Well, Lee catches up with Brisbane City Lord Mayor Graham Quirk to find out.
Well, the event is really important because it gives people the opportunity to come together in a festival format, but to learn about how they can make their homes more sustainable. So it's an education program. It's a good fun way to tell people the things that they can do, simple things that help to make Brisbane the most clean and green city in Australia. That's our vision. That's what we're about, and that's where these festivals really help make a difference.
So let's ask some of the visiting public why they're here.
Oh, a couple of reasons. It's great to see that the council's showing us how to be greener, and also we're here with the kids and to see Peppa Pig.
To see Peppa Pig.
Food and the activities.
A number of things, mainly to see the chick cakes and Bobby Aloo, they're amazing.
Well, we live local, so we wanted to come and check it out. And we're all about, I'm a primary school teacher in the north side, so I know it was advertised in our school newsletter. So I wanted to come and see who else is supporting a great cause.
My mum brought me here so I could learn about sustainability.
And do you think that's really important?
Yes.
And do you know what it means?
No.
Do you do any studies at school that teach you about the environment?
No.
What school do you go to?
Norfolk Village State School.
Norfolk Village? We've been there. They teach, don't they?
Yes.
What year are you in?
7.
Yes, 7. And we saw a Year 5 class. What's going on at the school? Norfolk? Okay, anything else you want to say?
No.
No. Got a girlfriend?
Yes.
What? Does your mum know?
Yes.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoy your day, Jake, and thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
What about, and go Green Homes and Bacon.
Go Green Homes and Bacon.
He's a good kid.
Sit up straight, don't fall on the stool, comb your hair back, try to look cool, you can do.
We also caught up with a few of our local celebrities.
We did a big renovation on our home and put all these halogen downlights in, and then have realised that just how much energy that's sucking out of the place, and our power bill went through the roof. So I'm in the process of going around and changing over all the light bulbs in the house to make them more energy efficient. And we've got a lot of downlights in the house, so I'm going to do it over time because it obviously costs a bit of money and it's a bit of work. So that's one thing I'm doing. We also put solar hot water on to try and reduce our hot water bill. And I've got 4 sons. And I think it's important to try and teach them, which is part of coming here, teach them the message of sustainability so they can take it forward a little bit and help us in the house by having shorter showers, turning lights off in rooms. So we're very conscious of it.
Okay, Bill, spell the word environment for me.
E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T. I hope that's right. It'd be very embarrassing if it wasn't.
Look, we had a really great opportunity to meet a lot of the support that we've had over the last little while and say g'day to all the guys and also sort of see what's out and about there for sustainable living and yeah, it's been very interesting, hasn't it?
Great turnout today. So in your household, which one of you two guys is the most eco-friendly?
I would have to say I am. Sean tends to leave the lights on quite often and the TV running.
I just do it to keep Amy in line, really, make sure that things are going well. Yeah, exactly. Believe me, they all go off before we go to bed, though.
Yes. Now, can you guys spell the word environment for me?
E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T.
I don't know if you got that right.
You did.
Oh, look, I think this is a wonderful initiative. I think that most people are aware that we need to just take some small steps to make improvements in the planet. And I mean, the beautiful thing about it is we're saving the planet, we're saving money, it makes us all feel better, the food's healthier. So it's something that I really believe in and I really want to help to promote.
Do you incorporate any areas of sustainability into your sort of your personal life or in your home, such as even things like not just outside of the cooking, solar, your water capture, energy efficiency?
Oh yeah, we've got water tanks, we've got solar panels. For me, a lot of what waste goes on in the house goes on in the kitchen, so we've got systems in place for that. I've got chickens, so they eat all my scraps. I use their droppings as fertiliser. They give me beautiful eggs. We've got a little veggie patch, a little herb patch, and you know, it's not about being an expert or about being perfect by any means. It's just about making little decisions every day which add up over a lifetime.
Last thing, a small test. Do you know how to spell the word environment?
I do know how to spell the word environment. You want me to?
Hit me, yeah.
E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T.
Oh, brilliant. How's that? Well, that's it, Lee. That's the day at the Brisbane Green Heart Fair. I've had a lot of fun. What was your favourite moment?
I think my highlight would have to be meeting Sean and Amy off of House Rules.
And did you get a sort of a pulse as to why people have really come here today?
To see Peppa Pig.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a long way to go when it comes to sustainability, when a sustainability fair attracts people that want to see Peppa Pig. Never mind, that's why we're here, and that's why you should be watching Green Homes and Bacon. So until we see you next time, we'll see you next time. See you, Lee.
Now.
Bye.
Green Homes and Bacon.
Green Homes and Bacon.
Go Green Homes and Bacon.
Good on you, Julie.
Blues.
I know!